Will Gordon Bell ever leave Canada? Is Liam Flanagan going to be the Wonder Kid, or is it Joe Bridgman? Will Pekka Whitman keep all 10 as his clients? Let's find out as we hop into the end of year 6, my friends. I do want to give a shout out to all the people that supported me on Patreon and the YouTube membership. It's actually dipped a little bit on Patreon because, life, quarantine, horrible things. So if you're enjoying the series, you want to see more stuff from me, you can visit the links in the description below, patreon.com/grayhairgaming, or go to the channel page and become a YouTube member. It really does help, even if you just throw a buck or two my way each month. Or you just keep hitting the like button and sharing this series with your friends. It really does help as well. So let's hop into it. We're going to go back to that alphabetical order A to Z. I think last time we did Z to A, so we're going to keep mixing it up. Let's go. All right, my friends. Greg Baxter still with Nizhny Novgorod. And here's the deal. I'm kind of recording these in a little bit of a bunch today so that I can get a couple episodes recorded and edited and uploaded for you to kind of be more consistent. So I don't have the spreadsheet updated yet by Eduardo Valente, who has been amazing, part of the Discord community, which you should also join. The link to that's in the description. So I can't tell you exactly what attributes have changed, because then I'd have to go back and watch the last episode and compare, and that's just a lot of work. But the first thing that points out, so like all that to say, this is going to be a slightly different episode. We're going to look at maybe some different things here. He is requested to leave. He's expecting to leave the club in the near future. There was the green dot. It's not showing up here, but there was the green dot on the short list. I was like, oh. So he's requested to leave. He's got 3 years left on his contract on 4.6K. That's the same. None of that has changed. I do think one of these has got up over here. Like he had some 6s and 8s. So the fact that he's got 7s and 9 and a 7 here is probably a good sign. And I do think the stamina and strength has gone up, but I don't remember if that's from last time or this time. But overall, again, he looks like that holding midfielder that's really good with the ball at his feet. He's just not very physical. But I am encouraged that some of this has improved. So maybe there's still a chance. But I'm really interested in where he's going to go. So he's worth 4.3 million. He's been there for 6 seasons. I guess it's already bumping it to 2027. So he's been there for 5 seasons, maybe 21 through 26. He's got a whole 3 goals. He's got 99 appearances. He's 1 appearance away. So is he going to get his 100th appearance for the club, or are they going to sell him on because he wants to leave? Oh, active relegation release clause. So they went down. That's that. Wait a minute. No, they didn't. What is that about? Is it that they got relegated at some point in his contract? Or am I just not understanding things? Probably a little bit of both. But somebody could come in and buy him, or will they just offload him someplace? Let's take a look at last season. How did he do? He ends up with 28 starts on a 6.89. He gets 1 of those 3 goals. He also picks up an assist. Not as good as the season before. Well, the season before was in the first division, where he got 6 assists and 4 players of the match, and now he's 1 goal, 1 assist. And the ratings. But I mean, to think that you went up a level, right, and your rating is better than the last time you were in the Premier Division in Russia, and it didn't drop too much from being in the first division, is probably a good sign. He also had 5 cup starts on a 7.22, not bad, and 5 international starts on a 7.12. So he's doing okay. Did he have, because that's 3 games less. Did he have some kind of an injury, something like that? Okay, a back strain. He was out for 3 weeks at the beginning of the season, or, first third of the season into September time frame. Nope, that was 2024. So no, he just, now I'm just confused, because he had 28 with 3 subs, and now he's just had 28. I mean, maybe they're just resting him and rotating him. Maybe. All right, form standpoint here. Central midfielder all the way, as you see. Let's check out what he's doing for the national team. Okay. He picked up a couple more caps, so going back to here. Bahrain, Philippines, North Korea, Turkmenistan, and Indonesia. So what competition was this? Let's go take a look here. Okay, these were friendlies, and they got beat 3-1 in both of those. They lost to North Korea 3-0 away. And he played a 7.2. Oh, the rest of his team, though. The goalkeeper gets a 7.5 despite letting 3 goals in, but 5.9s, multiple 5.9s in the back line. Generally not a good thing. They beat the Philippines 1-0. He played a 7.8. Slightly better performances across the board. But all friendlies, no actual competitions, but still, but they have the East Asian Cup qualification preliminary round coming up against Mongolia, Guam, and Northern Mariana. So hopefully they can get a result there. Currently 196th in the world. You know, not the best, but they're doing okay. They're doing okay. Nobody is interested in the transfer. They do have the asking price at 8.5. Transfer status by request, so he's definitely requested. He was transfer listed. In December. So he's been transfer listed for 6 months and nothing has happened. So that's a bit concerning, right? Like, is he going to get sold on or not? What are your thoughts about Greg Baxter Greg? Gordon Bell is still with Calvary FC, still at $8.25 a week. Sorry, Gordon. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to report here, is there? There's just really, he's up to 29 caps though. I think that was more than last time. Like, that's got to be an increase of some variety. Yeah, he had like, what? It was like 9 in the year 4, and then it was like 12. He got 3 more caps. How did he get that many caps? Whoa! Like, hold the phone. Hold the phone. 29 caps. Okay, let's click on Canada. They made a run in the World Cup to the 3rd round. Okay, so they're in the quarterfinal. Is he playing? Oh dear. Did he wasn't one of the set piece guys. He did play a 6.9. Okay. Gordon Bell's in the World Cup. Go on. He's at Calvary FC and he's in the World Cup. He's played a 6.9 here, so he's got 2 6.9s in the World Cup. He comes on as a sub in a draw against Russia. He comes on as a sub again against Iran. So that's interesting because it looks like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, maybe he came on as a sub because it went extra time. But still, so he's not, maybe not starting in the World Cup games, but it's like, okay, our team's exhausted. Bring Gordon Bell on. And he's doing all right. He's not a 6.2. You know, he's doing okay. And then prior to that, Bolivia, you know, he's 6.9. Bosnia and Herzegovina comes on as a sub and gets a yellow card with no rating. Impressive. Okay, we also had the Gold Cup. Did he play? He played against the United States? No. Was he part of the squad? Yes, 8.0 against Cuba. Nothing against the Dominican Republic, so they're rotating. They make it to the quarterfinal. He comes on as a sub and does a 6.7. They lose to Mexico in the semifinal. He starts and gets a 7.0, so it wasn't his fault. And then he plays at a bunch of friendlies. That is an insane number of caps in one season. Like 1 year later, he gets to play in the Gold Cup. He gets to play in the friendlies. He gets to go to the World Cup. He plays in the 3rd round. Is he going to make an appearance against Belgium? That is hilarious. That whole situation is hilarious to me, despite the fact no one's interested. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Minimum fee release clause is 1.1 million. Surely somebody would go, let's go buy that guy for 1.1 million that's in the World Cup. He looks like he did all right. He's 6.9, you know, like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I'm rooting for Gordon to make a move. Come on, one more move, just one more. All right, it's Joe Bridge. Let's see what's going on. He's asked to leave. What? They've played him as an attacking midfielder on the left and the center. He wants to leave. He wants a new deal to reflect his ability. He's got 3 years left on this contract. Is it because he's on a squad player contract? 170 grand a week, mate, is a lot. There's no way he can just get released. He wants to leave. Does he? Again, I can't look at the attributes. It looks pretty much the same. I don't see, like, again, we were kind of hoping some of these would improve to get into the green zone. I mean, he's really good, but like last season as a squad player contract, he gets 32 starts at a sub. He only gets 3 assists. Again, I just think that's a bit odd on a 7.03, 6 cup starts on a 7.48. 10 continental starts with a goal and assist on a 7.2, 11 international starts with the goal on a 7.13. I think he's justified in wanting a new deal. I'm just surprised he like just got there and he's put in 2 really good seasons, right? Like that's all 7s in every like actual non-friendly competition that he's played in. I can understand him being like, I'm not a squad player, I'm a regular starter. Like, what's up? Pay up. Will they sell him though? I don't think he's had any injuries. Like he hasn't missed enough time to like impact the number of minutes or the games that he's played in. So sprained wrist ligaments 11 days, but nothing really horrific. Wingback, he came on in the 41st minute, so they must have had an injury or something like that. So he plays, essentially a half against Saint Etienne as an attacking mid advanced playmaker, which is a thing, I guess. The rest of the time he's a wingback the entire way, and he's starting. So like, that's pretty crazy. For Russia, he has played some fullback, but lots and lots and lots of wingback. So I guess did he play Greg Baxter? Or Gordon Bell. Russia versus Canada? Yes, he did, and he got an assist. Boy, that's a lot of games too. So let's go take a look at what's going on. Contract. We already looked at that for Russia. So they got knocked out in the 3rd round by Turkey. He didn't start that game. Brazil. Am I crazy? He should be right here. Yeah. Maybe he was just tired because it went to extra time, right? I don't know. Who knows when he came off. And they beat Brazil in extra time with a man send off in the 111th minute for yellow card accumulation. But Joe puts in a 7.1. He puts in a 7.0 against Canada. He puts a 7.8 against Iran. Did he play in the friendlies? Uruguay, yes. United States, yes. Croatia, yes. Ooh, those 2 friendlies didn't go too well. Turkey must be pretty good, apparently. And then obviously they qualified, but he played 7.7, 6.4 against San Marino. Ooh. Yikes. 7.1 against Moldova, 7.3 against Holland, 7.4 against Hungary, 7.7 against Georgia. Joe Bridgman is the deal. He's the real deal, apparently. And now they got the European Nations League, and they're in the Division A with Spain, Croatia, and Norway. So they're going to try and, maintain top levels there. I think that's going to be interesting. Ask Spain 3rd in the universe, Croatia 20th, Norway 29th, and that leaves Russia in 22nd. So you would not expect them to be the top of that group. Joe Bridgman is the top player in Russia or for Russia. I'm just surprised he's already like, nah, I'm out. Like, pay up or I'm leaving. That's aggressive. Or okay, wants a new deal to reflect his ability. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think like there's only so many places you can go after PSG, right? Like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, right? Like the list is pretty short. So do you think it's more likely that he leaves, and if so, where? Or does he stay because they go like, oh yeah, you were right, we're gonna pay you more? I do think his technicals need to improve. Really interesting stuff. All right, next up, Chris Carpenter, still with Ghent, still worth the 20-something million. I think it was 22 last time. He's at 28 million, 13.5 grand. I think it was 12.5, something like that. Up to 28 caps with 3 goals. 36 starts. Okay, so again, this is what you want to see. Club buys you. You come in, you get 32 starts with 7 goals in the first season. Second season, you build on that. 4 more starts, no subs, 5 more goals, 2 more assists, and 6 more players of the match on a 7.56. Now, is that going to be good enough to get somebody's attention? That's what I want to know, because he's put up 7 point something every place that he's been. And now he's at like a really good level in Belgium. So is that good enough for Monaco to come calling? Or I don't think PSG, Atletico Madrid, Aston Villa, something like that to pick up that Belgian team's player, right? And like bring him up to a slightly higher level. Not that the Belgian Pro League A isn't like the highest level, but like it's also not the Premier League or Ligue 1 or Italy. Right, so that'll be interesting. He got only 1 cup start. They must have gotten knocked out, maybe. And 11 continental starts with a sub, 2 goals, 4 assists on a 7.39, 7 more international starts with a goal, and 4 assists on a 7.81. He's flourishing. We were so afraid he was going to get stuck in Nepal and then get stuck at Mouscron And he's really kind of growing. 22 years old. We got a ways to go with this thing. Again, I can't really check the attributes to see like how crazy different they are. I do like that his acceleration and pace are really good. Again, that's really going to help him get up and down the pitch there on both sides because he's either-footed. And I think that is also super useful that he's an either-footed player. Makes him more versatile, right? Like more teams can be interested. He can be used in more games, stuff like that. Any crazy injuries? Bruised shoulder? Nope. Nothing too bad. Form standpoint, inverted winger. Again, the either-footedness, that makes sense, but you would just think with the pace acceleration, have that guy run down as a winger, but, you know, what do I know? But he looks to be doing quite well. Like, look at this. A really good run of form, minus the game against Club Bruges where he did a 6.3, but, like, that's a really good run to finish the season. And then for Nepal, he's playing as an inverted winger, but in like a 4-4-2, like midfield left. He has played a couple games as an actual winger, but again, even in these, he's doing exceptionally well. Now, is Nepal doing exceptionally well? Let's go find out. Asian Cup qualifying Group A. Okay, did they only play one game, or is it like spread out? He did an 8.1 with a goal. Yeah, in the 14th minute. Okay, that was the end of the group. Ooh, okay. So he's doing well. 7.5, but like goalkeeper 6.1, a 5.6 on the back line, a 5.7 playing with him. Yeah, yeah, he's the only player doing well for Nepal. Which again, you kind of go, they're 184th in the world, like you kind of expect that, right? Like, yeah, and obviously he's clearly the top player, but you know, at least he's having an international career, and I wonder, you know, if he would just go like, guys, like I can't make it. I can't do this anymore. I'm 22. It's like Christian Pulisic surrounded with a bunch of Michael Bradleys. Oh no, controversy. But you know, like I can't have this whole team on my back all of the time. Do you think he's gonna move? Let's check the. Okay, somebody could pay 42.5. That seems like something Chelsea would do, doesn't it? Like, players worth 22, yeah, just activate the release clause. Like, let's, and then, like, use him for 18 months and then sell him to somebody else. But, I don't know. That's just where my head goes, because, again, I don't necessarily think he's Premier League talent just yet. Like, some of these technicals really need to improve, but will somebody else pick him up? We'll have to see. Next up, Peter Doyle, the one we thought, at least I thought, was the one, has a bid in to leave Braga to go to Bayern for 2.3. Now that's a surprising move. Like that's like the spare change Bayern have in their couch to pick up that might be interesting. Would he develop there, or is he gonna sit on the bench? I don't know if that's the best move, to be honest with you. Who else was interested? Anybody else? Whoa, okay, like real big clubs. Atletico Madrid, Inter, and Juventus, as you do. Would those be good moves or not? I'm a little worried about the development side. Like, he needs minutes. He doesn't need to just go get paid very well, Pekka, agent. He needs to be playing to, you know, obviously get into a big, huge club and then facilities and training and all that, but better coaching and all that. But I don't know if that's the best move or not, to be honest with you. They won the Super Cup in 2025. Okay, great. Last season, 21 starts. Sorry, I think my mic was a little bit further away there. 21 starts, 3 subs, 2 goals, 2 assists, 6.89, not bad. 4 cup starts with a sub with an assist on a 6.9, 13 continental starts with a goal on a 6.74, and he added 7 international with an assist on a 7.4. He's gotten more time. I mean, so again, we kind of talked about in that first season, right? 2 starts, 8 subs. And I was like, well, he needs to get more. And then I thought he might get 15. He gets 14, but it's 10 starts, 4 subs. And then this season, 21 starts, 3 subs. So that's good. Like he's moving up in terms of the number of minutes. You know, maybe it was one of those contracts where they said fringe player and then squad player and then regular start, like that type of a development contract. That's been okay. Any crazy injuries? Not since the lower back stress fracture. Again, playing that right winger in like a 4-4-2 maybe, or some sort of weird asymmetric thing, who knows. Internationally, for Equatorial Guinea, also same spot, but a little bit of attacking mid on the right. Maybe that's depending on the level of competition, or did they get a new manager or something like that? Because there's a pretty big shift here. You know, that, I mean, I know this is going back into the previous episode, but lots of attacking mid on the right and then switching to that. So we'll take a look at that. But, you know, doing all right. Got his assist against Sudan. And last fall, got an 8.1 with a goal against Nigeria. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see how they're doing here. And what was the competition? 117th in the world. He's not even their top players. He's fourth on the list. But 2 of them don't have clubs, which is a thing, I guess. Okay. So once they got into African Nations Qualification Group 1, was he playing? Was he starting? Yes, 7.7 there. 6.6 there. Their World Cup against, so interesting, World Cup qualification, they must have played like a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 with attacking right winger. Because I want to say the Nigeria game, it said he was playing as the attacking right, attacking mid on the right. And they did not qualify. Ooh, 6 points out of 6 games is not going to get you there against tough competition. Maybe they knew they had to win some games, so they kind of went for it. But then in African Nations qualifying, currently top of the table or even on top of the table from a point standpoint with the Ivory Coast, so a chance to make it there and continue, you know, making an impact on the international stage. But I'm really curious what your thoughts are. Like, is this a good move? Does move it, whether it's Bayern or one of the other big clubs that was interested in him, is that really a good move for Peter Doyle? I mean, I guess it's hard to say moving to Bayern Munich is a bad move, but just from like a development standpoint, I don't know. Is he just going to go back to being a fringe player? That would kind of be, in a way, kind of worse. All right, Liam Flanagan still with Fiorentina, $42.5 grand a week. Still on the original contract, I believe, until 2029. That's not been extended. Nope. 17 million value, 23 caps with 1 solitary goal. Positioning, again, I can't remember if that's gone up or not, but 18 with the 18. The jumping, which was already 18. I think his headed was a 13, so now it's maybe a 14. Maybe that's gone up a bit. Moves ball to right foot before dribble attempt. Stays back at all times. Okay. How's he done? Got his... Okay, against Brazil, aged 19. Under 19s, is that what that means? That wasn't even this season. What am I focusing on that for? Last season, 35 starts. So no substitutions. 6-7-2 is a bit of a step back. 3 cup starts, 6-7-7. 9 international, 7-2-7. Is Fiorentina worse? Because again, we talked about that last time where, okay, last season he had 9 fewer starts, but he was a 6.99, so he played better. The cup was about the same, 6-7-7, exactly the same in the exact same number of games, although this season he had an assist. So is Fiorentina taking a dip? Yes, they have. So again, I'm not saying he's not a part of that, but maybe they lost some players, because again, in my Reggio Adace save, Fiorentina became the team that was doing this a lot, up and down and up and down and up and down. So is it the fact that maybe they sold some players, or they were forced to sell some players? They haven't paid a transfer fee. Okay, yeah, they sold 65 million last season, throughout all of the last, you know, between the last episode and now, and they only brought in 38 million. The prior season they were even, 43.5, and then the season before that 95. So like, you could argue, again, it's hard to judge by the values, but maybe they didn't bring in as many good players, and that's caused a little bit of a dip for them or something like that. But just kind of something interesting there where, you know, is he surrounded by worse players? And I can't remember if that was a red dot or if that's now an orange dot, or if it was an orange dot. But he's, you know, he's playing a lot at a high level. He just really needs them to stay up. Does he have a relegation? No, he doesn't have. If they get relegated, he has no out. I mean, the club might sell him because of his wages, but he doesn't have like somebody could, you know, come in and buy him for $5 million or something like that. Paraguay, all right, 45th in the world, made it to the second round of the World Cup. He Did he play right? Is that what that is? Did he play? We'll check. Did he play right back on a 6.9? Seems unfortunate. And again here, maybe? Or is it just... usually I feel like the right back is right under the goalkeeper. Because he played center back here. So we get 2 games at right back. That's interesting. And another one. And another. Is he the Paraguayan right back? Is that what is happening here? Did they... Okay. They did qualify, obviously. Was he involved? Not in that game. Their goalkeeper had a 5.1. He played a 6.2 with a yellow. He probably was suspended for the next match. He played a 7.7 as a center back because that's his role. That's not very good. Let's go back to check. Where are they playing him? Okay, club is playing him ball playing defender, which is what you should do. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the listing in the, you know, in the schedule. Or maybe I wonder if they're playing like a back 5 and like the right center back is the first one listed, right, in that back 5. But that makes me feel slightly better. I was kind of wondering, I was like, okay, well, this would be like a dark green dot at least if he was playing all those minutes internationally. So in some ways, it's not great if he still got poor, in some cases, poor ratings, right? But he still ends up with a 7.27 internationally. So it can't have been that bad. But I'm curious, is it time after this season? One, does Fiorentina stay up? Because if they don't stay up, he's got to go. But is it also like, okay, I've made my debut on a bigger stage in Serie A. Can he move to a better team in Serie A? Can he go to a Roma? Can he go to, you know, maybe not a Juve or an Inter or something like that? Or does he just completely change countries? We'll have to find out. All right, we were really hoping Mr. Cab got a loan move, and instead it looks like he's moved to Stuttgart. How did that happen? 41.5 million? Okay. Wait, how does this happen? 26 league starts, and he gets a move in the same season, and he gets 11 league starts. So he was there by February. So he was at least to Stuttgart by February. And of course, we can't see. Of course, that makes so much sense, Football Manager. We can't see the previous season at the previous club. So he must have played in the fall, a bunch of games in the fall, 26 starts, 10 goals, 3 assists, 7-1-2. So again, we talked about they got relegated. So it was time for, you know, you got to knock in a bunch of goals to get noticed, to get either they get re-promoted or you move. So, you know, it's like 1 every 2.5 games with 3 assists, but 7-1-2 is not too bad. I would have liked to see a little bit more. He gets 8 international starts, 5 goals on a 7.29, so that's really good, right? And Stuttgart is in the 2 Bundesliga, and they get promoted because they're now listed as the Bundesliga. So maybe that explains also the 11 games. So maybe they have like did they have a play? We'll check. But he puts in 6 goals in the 2 Bundesliga. As a new player, I think that's impressive. Coming into the end of the January window, you're now a goal every other game. Now, maybe he was surrounded by really good players, right? And that's why they got promoted, but he still knocked them in. Like, get in, son. That's massive. So his contract is now until 2030. So he signed it February 2nd. So what? He's got 4 more years left. If another club in the Bundesliga or in a higher division, so if they get relegated, another club comes in, they can buy him for 77. So essentially almost doubling Stuttgart's money. Optional 1-year extension. He gets a sell-on fee. Good for him. Pekka doing the negotiating up to 65 grand a week. We're not really looking at the attributes, but it looks pretty tasty, right? Like concentration, really poor, but really good, like dribbling, finishing, first touch, technique, off the ball, flair, pace and acceleration. So you can see he's like that striker that can get into those positions. He's got the off the ball movement and the physical attributes to get into those positions. And when the ball comes to his feet for his first touch, he can do something with it. And his long shots are okay, but his finishing, if he's more like, you know, the fox in the box there, right? Like get him into the box. He's got good technique. I think he's quite a tasty little player. Now, I think they overpaid. At least somebody thinks they overpaid because they paid 41.5. He's worth 23.5. So they've taken a pretty big cut there. that's exciting. Now, will he get the minutes? He does have a regular starter contract, which is interesting. Let's take a look at their schedule here. Oh, gosh. You know, sometimes I don't understand Football Manager. Doesn't look like they had a playoff or anything like that. Did they just go straight up? They won the league. Okay. But again, has he joined the team that's going to be up, down, up, down, up, down? Like, you know, like, is that what's going to happen? And is that any better than, I mean, it's probably slightly better. Like, the bottom end of the Bundesliga, I would think is better than the bottom end of Ligue 1. Maybe? That's just my opinion. But has he really... It'll depend, I guess, on the amount of games he gets, right? Like, just because he's a regular starter doesn't mean he's going to get regular starter minutes now that they're at the Bundesliga. And is he going to be able to knock in nearly as many goals because they're playing against the likes of RB Leipzig and Bayern Munich and Dortmund and all that kind of teams. So that, that's exciting. So he's got a little European tour going here. He goes from the Dominican Republic to France to Belgium and back and forth to France and Belgium, and now he's into the Bundesliga in Germany. So that's really exciting. Any crazy injuries? No. Bruce Shen? Nothing. He's good. Internationally, and they're playing him as an advanced forward. Okay, so he's getting lots of games. 7.4 against the United States. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals and 7. Pretty good. Goodness me, he's not. Like, again, some of these are lower level competition. Let's see. Was that the Gold Cup? He's their top player. Okay, they're 118th of the world. Since he's existed, they've gone up. Gets in. Is he not playing in the... Oh, we can't see the friendlies. We can't see the squads, but he's not scoring any of those goals. But Mr. Kev scored against Panama. He scored against Panama again. He likes playing Panama. He scored against Canada in a loss in the Gold Cup group stage. Even though he played well, 7.4, the rest of the team played pretty poorly against the United States. And he scored a goal against Cuba in the group. So, but he's doing his part. I feel like that's kind of been the theme of this episode. It's like, you can't control the rest of your team because you're from an obscure nation, but you do you, Mr. Kev. That's exciting. Because, again, we were hoping for a loan, and we've gotten a move. I'm just hoping that it's a good move. What are your thoughts? Like, is he going to be able to perform at Stuttgart? I don't know. Next up, it's Brian McGee, still with Tottenham. So he has not moved. Hopes that being available for loan leads to an opportunity to gain first-team experience elsewhere. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. What did he get, like 8 appearances last season? Let's find out. He's wanted by Malaga. That's it. No one else is interested. That's not good, is it? Oh, he went on loan to Schalke for the entire season. Okay, that's good, except he played a 6-5-7. Not the best. 18 starts, 3 subs, and assist on a 6.57. 3 cup starts on a 6.83. 5 international starts on a 6.8. 18 and 3. Would that have been a mid-season loan, you think? But he's not showing up as Tottenham, so it must have been all season. Did he have some crazy injury? Tight thigh, bruised knee? No. 18 just seems like, it must have been, 21 total. It must have been, the whole season. He just had to work his way into it. Was Schalke just really bad? They're still in the Bundesliga. They didn't get relegated, so let's go look at the stages. Last season, Schalke, oh no, they were in 10th. So he played a 6-5. Again, I was thinking, like Schalke present day getting relegated. Was he on that team? Not really. He's in the middle of the table, but a 6.57 is quite poor. Does he know German now? He knows good German. He's not fluent, but he knows good German. So that's, maybe he had to, maybe that took a while to learn what his teammates were doing. From a form standpoint, of course, we're not going to be able to see. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see. That's ridiculous. Schalke, so we can't tell, did he play more towards the end of the season or not? Internationally, playing as that wing back, it's gone all right. 6.5 a couple times, Sweden and Uruguay. That looks like world Or no, that wouldn't be World Cup, would it? No, they probably didn't make the World Cup. Yeah, I remember that. He's got 22 total caps. They're 57th in the world. He's playing in the friendlies. There's the Sweden game. Okay. And then World Cup qualifying, they ended up 9th. Not dead last, but 9th. Obviously, Paraguay obviously made it. We saw that. Not very good overall. I mean, I'm almost like, I feel like he's got about 2 more years he can develop technically. And maybe that's wrong. You know, or maybe technically and mentally, but he really needs like a move where he's going to play a lot and also play at a good level and also be able to play with a decent rating. A 6.57 on that loan to a mid-table team in the Bundesliga. Not the best. Not the best. I don't think Tottenham is the long-term home. I mean, hopefully they'll loan him out. Otherwise, I think he's just going to rot on the bench. Ugh. Next to last here, it's Josh Payne, Juve, 140 grand a week as a breakthrough prospect. What are you talking about? How many games did he get? 12? Let's just take a guess here. 12. I mean, but he's really good. I mean, maybe 20. 11. I was close on the first guess. 2 starts, 9 subs on a 6.84 with an assist. After the previous season, 2 starts, 11 subs with an assist. It's just like he's that developmental prospect, right? Like I'm sure Juventus has got all kinds of stars, and so it's trying to break through that or filling in when somebody's injured or whatever, but he's not that guy that comes in and gets, 15 and 15, right? 15 starts, 15 subs. He's not there yet. Played a little bit at the under 23 level on a 7.0, another 6 appearances. This is the problem when you go to a club like Juve, right? You're still listed for a loan. I mean, he's making, and it's not at his request. It's they've listed him because they don't have the playing time for him. So they're trying to get him some minutes. Maybe they still see him as a good investment, but they're paying him 140 grand a week to make 11 appearances and 9 of them are substitutions. That is insane. Did he get 2 more caps? Did he have 4? And he didn't. I don't think it went up last time. I mean, he looks like a tiny little player, doesn't he? Physical's not as much, like he. It's like we have some players where the physicals are insane and the technicals are okay, and then I feel like Josh, the mentals are really good, the technicals are mostly good, at least for his advanced playmaker role, and the physicals are all right. Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite, but when they use him, let's just check that. Advanced playmaker, so he's making the bench sometimes, most of the time. At least he got an assist to end the season. Ended on a high note, right? And then for Poland, yeah, he picked up Scotland, New Zealand, Spain. Scotland and New Zealand. 2 new caps. Yep. I'm guessing those are friendlies in the March window. Poland 27th in the world. He's not on the list of important players or anything like that. And yeah, those were friendlies. So they're in the Nations League, A division against Italy, Belgium, and Austria. Tough group as you do. He's got 2 years left. So does he get loaned out? He's a midfield orchestrator. Does he get loaned out? Or do you think with like a year left on his contract, they go like, we don't have a spot for you, and they end up selling him? Maybe that happens at the next episode. It could happen like leading up to July 2nd, 2027 though, right? Like, I mean, they paid 600 grand for him. He's worth 43.5. Like, they could sell him for 15 million. They make maybe not covering his wages. So they sell him for 20 million or 25 million to somebody else where he'll actually play. I think that's probably the better result. Or he gets a really good loan and actually gets to play, 25, 30 games this coming season and really develops. And then Juve goes, okay, you've got a year left. We want to extend your contract. He's making a ton of money, so, he's got to be happy with that. I'm sure Pekka's, off the agent fee, right, in terms of renewing the contract would be okay. But it's like, great move. Oh, you're not playing. All right, last but not least is Andrew Wood. He's begging in the comments for a move. He said, I sure hope Conte isn't still at Inter, because if he is, I'm dead. My preference would be Victoria Guimaraes, because I think they're at a level where they'd play me and maybe make the deal permanent. And he's thrilled with his international career. The good news, bad news is you're still with Inter, and Conte is still the manager. So we hadn't looked at that before. Fairly professional. Down to an emergency backup. That's not good. Not even a fringe player. Emergency backup, listed for loan. The club would like to continue his development. Did he get more than 6 appearances? What do you think? Not for Inter. He gets 2 substitutions on a 6.8. And then he goes on loan. Maybe half season, 17 total appearances. 12 starts, 5 subs, 4 goals on a 6.85 in the Bundesliga. And they stayed up. They finished 15th because of his 4-goal contribution, obviously. And he got 28 fouls against. Seems like in 17 games, like more than, that's like 1.5 a game, something like that. And then overall, he ends up with 11 international starts, 9 goals, 3 assists on a 7.23. He's got to be reaching maybe not yet, but eventually legendary status internationally, right? For his, that's a goal every game, or essentially, right? They paid $6.25 million for him. He has no buyout clause. He's not making much money. He's only worth $8 million, which is a bit surprising. Again, technicals need to improve a little bit. The physicals are pretty good. Pace is a little down there. He's all right. He's not an Inter player, obviously. That's why he's listed as emergency backup. So he needs to move to Fiorentina, or a mid-table French team, or help a 2 Bundesliga club get promoted. Right? Go get him in the goals, get him some minutes, something like that. Again, same situation. His contract's at the end of this coming season, he's going to have a year left. They're going to have to make a decision. So do they loan him out and he really develops and they go, hey, we do have a spot for you? Or he really develops and they go, we can sell you on? Or do they not loan him out and he sits here and rots and then they let him go on a free? But internationally, okay, let's check. Did he have any crazy injuries? Pulled calf muscle. Nothing too bad. But again, okay, 16 goals, but he's really come into it. You got to think 9 of those goals came in the last 11 games. So maybe he's really going to become a star on the international stage. They're 81st in the world. He's not listed as one of their top players. Did he play? Yes, he gets another player in the World Cup, 6.3 against Australia. That's a tough group. You get France and Australia, you kind of well, great. You play a 5.9. Oh, no. But in the friendlies, right? He gets a quad, including a penalty. Hey, it's Giallo. Metroid Giallo. Is that the same one from my saves? Against Sudan, he picks up a goal. Nothing against Malawi or Morocco in African Nations Qualification Group B. Picks up some goals here in World Cup qualifying. So obviously they qualified. What were they? They came in second. Ooh, close. 2 points. 2 points. Gets through. But it's, at least he's having fun internationally. But man, his club career is the struggle bus, isn't it? I'm really hoping for a loan to permanent move. We'll find out. All right, and as always, Pekka still has everybody on the books, still 10 clients, so nothing has changed there. If we go back to the short list, again, we've added, Joe Bridgman is picking up some attacking midfield experience. Brian McGee, I can't remember if he had the midfield experience either. Obviously, we've seen Liam with the right back. Gordon Bell has not developed any further at center back. Shocker of all shocks. But it's pretty much kind of solidified here. But if you've enjoyed this episode, my friends, hit that like button. It's really interesting. I'm really intrigued now because I think we're kind of at a breaking point with some of these players where their clubs are going to have to do something. So what will they do? We'll find out next time. Hit that like button if you're new. Again, if you want to support the channel, the names, not these names, but the names that are going to show up on the end screen. Thank you to those folks. We had some people recently reach the 2-year of support mark, which is absolutely insane. My goal for the end of this month is to get to 53, 55 total. Right now, we are currently sitting at, I think it's 49 supporting the channel. So trying to grow just a little bit, about 10%, if you will. If that's something that you're interested and capable of doing, the links to the Patreon and the YouTube membership are below. Your continued viewership obviously means a lot. Leave a comment on your thoughts on this episode, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.